Vigilante Williamson here with another episode of The Brave and the Bold. I appreciate anyone who is joining me. I appreciate everyone who's joining us in the chat. And, of course, on the panel, we have the one and only Jake D.
Hail, Vigilante Williamson. Thank you for the invite, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate you being here, man. We have a bit of a surprise, and Draco Argentis is also here.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, I am here. I'm not entirely certain why, but I was invited, therefore I came.
I appreciate you. Yeah, apparently we are competing with EFAP, which was not intended. And the one and only, your friend and mine, Slasher McSplitter. I appreciate him being back on The Brave and the Bold. How you doing, Slasher?
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Hello again.
No. Hello, Fimmer, who I think that was before the stream. Mary G, hell.
Hello, chat.
Mary G.
Hail the chat.
As I've said before, most of my audience is men. If not for like Mary G or Kate, I don't think there would be any women who watch any of my material. But that's neither here nor there. How's everyone doing? We were talking a little bit before about a bunch of different subjects. And I kind of just want to keep that same energy going, kind of open-ended, just talking about all the craziness that's going on in the world. So I have the It's Fine meme as the thumbnail for the stream because,
dude, before we go into the craziness of the world, there is a bright, shining light that appeared today.
What was that?
Girl Scout cookies are on sale, and I got a box of Thin Mints in the freezer right now, baby.
You have to, the Girl Scout cookies. Well, hey, you know something? Are they still Girl Scout or are they just Scout cookies? Because that's
it still says girl, but hey, you know.
That's not going to be always. Because one of my backup stories is this craziness with sports. If Foulball comes on, I'll talk about it. Because we talked about it on his podcast.
Aren't girls supposed to be allowed in the Boy Scouts these days?
I think so. Or they grew for it. They are allowed, so they are allowed. So are boys allowed in the Girl Scouts?
That's what I'd like to know, yeah.
They probably are.
I would imagine they are, but I haven't heard of any. They're certainly not selling me cookies.
Yeah, but I'm sure that's coming. I'm sure there's going to be somebody who wants their son in the Girl Scouts.
Yeah, like like Ellen Page, if she wanted. Elliot. Whoops, my bad.
Yep.
If Elliot Page wanted to.
We're demonetized. We already were. So
Damn. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I don't think that was you, Slasher. Please continue with your demonetized chat.
Nah, I'll stop.
That's what's going. Nice about not being monetized. We don't have to worry about it.
That's a joke.
They aren't going to put ads on this because nobody can sell this time.
Yeah.
But anywho,
no. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying, like, if that was the possibility, would Elliot be able to join the Boy Scouts? A young Elliot Page. Yeah,
only if he also identified as a 13-year-old, right?
But the thing is, would you even refer to them as son or daughter, since the pronouns precede what those two binary designations refer to?
Hello, gentlemen. Good evening.
Hail Fimmer.
Hello, Fenrir.
Hail Fenrir.
Oh, okay. So, would they change it to the they/them Scouts?
They're going to have to.
They'd have to bring them into each other. There is no boy. There is no girl.
The Child Scouts?
Is the crap about the Boy and Girl Scouts still going on? I thought people saw how stupid it was.
No, JD got some Girl Scout cookies. Shout out to the Thin Mints. And they got some other cookies. I think the shortbread, they're pretty good.
Because let's be honest, all the girls are going to go to the Boy Scouts. And the Girl Scouts aren't going to be a thing. So it's pretty stupid. I mean, everyone's going to want to go to the Boy Scouts because they teach good things. And no one's going to want to go to the Girl Scouts because, well, it's pretty much just selling cookies and staying inside safe. So the Girl Scouts are pretty much gone.
No, those cookies are going to keep the Girl Scouts around.
Yeah, it
Those
depends.
cookies.
Depends. It will probably be the they/them scouts or the trans scouts or the.
What's the one? The Zir? Isn't that a
The
gender?
Zap?
Zir.
The Zero
Zim-
Scout.
the Zim Scout?
Or the unidentifiable scouts, or the gender neutral scouts, or whatever the fuck these idiots want to make up.
Why do they just call it the Scouts?
That's what it will be. The Scouts.
No. They're gonna want to make something. They'll make them tokenized. Some name stupid and very complicated.
The They Scouts.
They are
Boy Scout.
still referred to by all of their call-outs and all their designations as Boy Scouts of America, even though, yes, there are boys and girls in the groups.
I mean,
in
what
the
is?
pictures, in the promotionals.
I mean, what is wrong with the group that only has boys and one that only has girls? What is wrong with that? I don't see much of what's wrong.
Also take into consideration
Intersectionality lack.
take into consideration also the class action lawsuits for sexual abuse. Maybe the Boy Scouts are going to want to totally separate. You know, they're going to probably want to totally separate their whole name and just call it the Scouts.
Oh god, this is gonna be a long day.
It is.
Yeah, this took
It's
a dark.
gonna be a-
This all took a dark turn because someone bought Girl Scout cookies. Holy
It
shit!
did. I
Man,
shouldn't
I
have
was
brought
just-
anything up.
Happy there was Thin Mints.
It's my fault. I'm sorry, man. Mary
Yes, the
G
Girl
is-
Scouts are apparently completely non-inclusive because it's only girls on those promotions.
Yeah, Mary G
Exactly,
said no
and-
boys went to the Girl Scouts. Oh, Anthoperion. Elliot Page would sell cookies, but he still wouldn't have any nuts. Anthoperion said that.
What's up,
I did not
Anthro?
use
How you
food.
doing, Anthro?
Wait, Elliot's still around? I thought E.T. took him.
No, Elliot is still here. And not
Yeah,
necessarily
Elliot's
still
still
live. Because I did take a break, Ironcaster, but I am back without a trace. Me and Fenrir, but we're more friends. I appreciate you being here. You're back.
Yeah, no problem about that.
The Boy Scouts do fun trips, outdoor excursions.
Yeah, that's what I like about the Boy Scouts. They're more outside, more athletic. They go around and learn new things and give good lessons about life and philosophy, which is mostly what these idiots hate.
Thought
Yeah.
that was basically supposed to be the side of both of them. Why didn't the Girl Scouts simply start doing more excursions since they're both scouting, Girl Scouting, Boy Scouting, Scouting, I don't know.
Apparently, the Boy Scouts are trying to get the Scouts, but the Girl Scouts are suing them. So there's a legal dispute.
What?
My God, it's fucking stupid.
Marines stay Marines, no Marina when women join. So yeah, and we
My
were just
God,
talking.
this is so stupid.
Introduction.
And just by bringing up all those yummy Thin Mints in the freezer.
Yeah.
Can't just get them miss anymore.
Yeah, I don't care what gender scouts they are. I love the goddamn cookies, and I'm going to keep
Yeah.
buying them.
Oh hell
Yeah,
yeah.
but what if they stop? What if they stop selling cookies because it is an outdated stereotype?
Oh, then I'll be pissed, and we're going to have some words, brother.
I didn't think about that.
Take
Yeah,
heed, I
why are
suppose.
girls selling cookies? What are you saying, that women have to bake?
They don't make
You know
the
what's a-
cookies themselves.
You know, it's a depressing
Some
story if they
fucking-
say women shouldn't
They're made
bake.
at some. They're
Women
made at some
shouldn't bake.
fucking factory.
There's a pretty funny story about women not knowing how to bake. There was this little girl once had a mom who wanted to teach her how to cook. So when she got married and had a husband, she said she was not going to get married. She was a total modern Lisa Simpson type. Now in the future, she lives alone. She is not married. She doesn't know how to cook. So she either goes out or she passes hunger. I mean, let's be honest. Sometimes these skills serve a purpose for you to survive by your own self.
First of all, I'm one of those people that think everyone should know how to fucking cook at least.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's the same thing my
Amen.
mother always taught me.
Yeah, but you know what they're doing. It's the same thing that they're railing at in the WandaVision, the idea of the woman in the kitchen, as is used as a derogative stereotype.
But what's
Why is
wrong
that
with that?
derogative?
What is wrong with that? Some stereotypes are good.
And like, as I joke, what is so wrong with the end of a one income household? Because you could actually have one person earn a whole one income could keep a household, and now they made that fucking impossible. So let's all struggle.
Yeah,
Exactly.
just for
If
some
it's a
whammy.
good job, one can keep the money coming and one can take care of the home.
Yeah,
I have, while I've never run into that situation yet, I've always been more than willing to stay home if my significant other could afford things on her own.
Yeah.
Well, this is the greater complexity of social systems that has happened over the course of the 30 or so years prior to the last 10 or 12, that things have gotten more complex. Sometimes there are two breadwinners, sometimes there's one, and the other does home things. But the thing is, in the current intersectional environment, that is dissatisfactory, because they're going to bring up the issues with the woman staying home and with the woman being penned up in that model. It's like second wave and first wave feminism didn't occur, and third wave is the only one that's doing anything about it. And that's the false worldview that they're proceeding from.
Yeah, and I guess the reason I brought up the one income thing is I'm trying to make the point that in the first and second wave, in trying to go for their equality, they ended up creating an economic issue that affected men and women, where now for the good majority of people, a 2-income household is needed for a family. That's just the way it is. And so that means now when you're talking about rearing children, neither parent can really be there with the child. You have to let TV raise them. You have to let the
And that's a bad
state
thing.
raise them. At the
Babysitter.
indoctrination
It is.
system.
It's a bad
Babysitter,
thing. One
daycare,
parent,
babysitter, daycare center, everyone but the parent.
Exactly.
one parent has to be there. Look, I come from a very huge family. I got a lot of baby cousins and etc. And I'm the oldest one for about 9 to 10 years. So most of all my aunts and uncles work a lot, so sometimes they leave the kids with me. I'm always there to help, sometimes always to give attention, because I know that a child needs human contact, especially with a member of the family, a relative.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's better than with some stranger you're probably not even going to see again tomorrow.
Absolutely. And we know a lot of these strangers are stranger danger, especially in the school system. If you really
Exactly.
research.
Especially now that they're allowing transsexual women, unknown women that are actually men, to rape the children by themselves in rooms, in the library. I mean, there's no red flags there, right?
It isn't even the idea that they might be of some alternative lifestyle. It's the thing that you're still handing these people over to strangers that you have to somehow trust. You have to trust these people when you are trusting them with children. You have to vet them. You have to be concerned about where they came from, what they think about, at least as far as what they might say to your children, because your children are impressionable and your children listen to things. They are little sponges that absorb all the information around them. And without a certain direction that you might want the child to have that direction in their life, they could be sponges that absorb all sorts of actually toxic ideas and
What's
thoughts.
worse though? What's said to the kids or done to the kids?
There's
Absolutely.
also what can be done
I've seen
to them.
I've seen footage of daycare centers of the people in charge just beating the shit out of certain kids. And if I was if I was a parent, I'd want to go fucking death wish on them. I seriously, if I had to see that footage on the news of my kid getting smacked around by,
You go there with a baseball bat.
oh my god.
Or-
I'm not the most violent person.
I mean,
Just gotta admit
I'd want, that would be my first instinct, yes. And then I realized that would do, I would have to come to the realization that all it's going to do is give me, it's going to quench my
Property
thirst for
damage?
vengeance, and
Put you
it's
in
just
jail.
going to,
And put you in jail on an assault charge.
Yeah.
but if I
property
was,
damage,
if I
let's
would,
be honest.
Society won't let you
Witness.
be martially responsible for
yeah,
what they
yeah.
did to your kids. What they
I-
fucking did to your kids.
I would hate to have to click on the fucking news and see this fucking footage. it would.
Yeah, I mean, as a father, I can tell you there'd be a lot of violent urges if I saw that.
And I'll tell you another thing. It would make me never, ever want to put my kid in the trust of another stranger ever again.
Because
Ever
you
again.
can't trust kids to train. Just give them to
No.
one of your nephews that is old enough, or one of your cousins, or just someone you know you can trust. Someone you know is not going to fuck them up.
Yeah, these daycare centers, it's just a job to these people. It's just a job to these people. They don't have to build
care for the
anything.
kids.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard horror stories about. I've known people who work in daycare centers, and they just tell you the horror stories. If they are one of the few people that care about the kids, and they end up having to leave. They're like, I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, that's a myth. The little brats are nightmares themselves.
No, it wasn't the kids. It wasn't the kids. It was the people. It was the staff and the management. And sometimes the parents, but it was more the management. It was more the people that worked there. They just said, I can't.
They treat it like a job. They'll treat a daycare center job like a fucking teenager would treat a job at Burger King.
Basically,
and that's unacceptable.
Too many, absolutely, man. I mean, to V-Dub's point, yeah, there's certainly a reasonable number who do indeed care, but there's also a hell of a lot of them that are just there checking the paycheck, and they got no more commitment to that job than to your point, McDonald's or Walmart.
Like
exactly, and those few that care get pushed out because of it.
Yeah.
Especially when there's no quality, there's no idea of merit or quality that is associated with the job. That should be justified, and that not every worker is exactly the same. It's unfortunate, but it's been the truth ever since. Ever since there has been work, there is a level of quality that you get from certain people.
Uh-huh.
Well, we'll be at 50. Yes, I said 50, not 15 minimum wage before you know it. So we'll see how.
Isn't the minimum wage going? Isn't Biden messing up the minimum wage thing there in America?
Yep. He's planning on moving it up to 15 nationwide, which will destroy small business in most of the rural parts of the country because
what hasn't already been done by 2020.
Yeah.
Yep.
Certain rural places never shut down, never had a riot, never had anything, and were able. You were in South Dakota. 2020 was. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't as bad.
A lot of places around us, Vigilante. A lot of places in between.
Yeah. Let's get some of the chat is always on fire, and I always feel like I can't get to everything. Astro Paragon talking about the sex change and unisex bathroom badges. The women who run the Girl Scouts are too lazy to do outdoors. I agree. Mary G talking about she likes to bake, but her boyfriend's better than her. And so I actually want to get to this point. I don't like the idea of the barefoot and pregnant ideology, but being self-sufficient in the kitchen is good for women or anybody. Personally, I hate feminists and they're ruining my gender. And I don't think there's a huge gap. No one's saying that women should be barefoot and pregnant. I think part of the reason this whole barefoot pregnant scare tactic became a straw man for feminism, regardless of wave, is that we totally neglected how much of a role a homemaker always was. Especially when you talk about back in the days, the pre-50s, pre-scientific revolution. Think about how much a two-parent home was doing to keep their family efficient, like from a mechanical standpoint. So a woman's role was never lessened. The feminists lessened the woman's role to say, "Oh, you're just barefoot and pregnant." Hell no, you're doing a lot. You're keeping the whole family in existence.
True.
Very significant and important and central role in the family as a whole that a homemaker of any sex, but if it was a woman, minimizing that role was one of the most horrible things that was ever done by those feminists that purported that fallacy.
Yeah. I mean, you forget there are cultures. We talked about Zack Snyder 300, but like the Spartan culture really like held women to a very high esteem, and they were known also as one of the like toughest cultures.
That's actually a real thing in most Greek and Roman culture. Women were allowed a lot of power.
Yeah, they recognized how powerful and wonderful women were, but they didn't lose their masculinity in that process.
Yep.
Exactly. They were given. They weren't. Most weren't actually allowed in the battlefield. Some were, but most were allowed in positions of political power, like senators, headmistresses, something like that, because they were research. They could reproduce. They could make children, and if they died, the next generation could die too.
Yeah.
If the men died, it was not much of an important thing. No.
Yeah, because I mean, there were other men, and the women were known to, like, you know, sometimes, like you said, in battle, you might be a widow, and so if you're raising the son, they had to toughen the son up. So like, you're not going to be a tough, because you have to defend this village, and then that's another thing. You had community, so everybody was trying to get everybody on the same page. Need to hail to just another red shirt, who is not just another red shirt. He's the red shirt. Apparently, the man with the radio voice. According to him,
it's always not just another red shirt.
He is a humble man. Just another red shirt is.
And I agree.
He is the
Please
red
hit the like button. Hit the like button. And Anthroparian, I did not mean that, obviously. And sorry to cut through. Mary G says they pay the same as Burger King. If that's a part of the problem, I have a hard time getting quality. Talking about, yeah, these daycares do pay a lot of times, not that much. So who the hell's going to work there besides someone who doesn't give a damn?
Mm-hmm.
The institutions have been poisoning the minds of the youth with SJW leftist nonsense. If parents aren't countering this brainwashing, then we reap the rewards in the coming years. Agreed. Too many parents, and I think we just all as an institution allowed the education system or the indoctrination system to get way too much control over our children without really countering or paying attention to what they were getting taught.
Yep. And it's not just coming years, man. I mean, you're living it right now. Straight up, we're seeing the results of this.
Can I ask a question to everyone here? Can I ask a question to everyone here on the panel?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Vigilante, how old are you?
I am 33.
JD?
41.
Fenrir?
Fenrir is 18. I'm not sure. Is he still there? Did I accidentally mute Fenrir? Maybe I accidentally muted him.
Oh, I'm 18. Sorry. I was on mute. I'm 18.
Okay, and I'm sorry.
Draco.
His name is gone. Oh, Draco. Draco, how old are you?
49.
49. Okay. So, did anyone here come from a household where your own parents forced their political beliefs on you?
No, sir.
Honestly,
no, actually, I did not.
No, my parents never forced their political beliefs on me. Religious, a little, but political, no. They never actually cared about that.
No.
How about you, Draco? Did your parents? No?
No, they did not.
Okay.
I was encouraged to think for myself.
Yeah, okay. So that's awesome. I'm 41, and it was the same thing with my parents. No forcing political beliefs on me. It's okay.
Okay.
So I guess that's the thing. Just don't do that to your children.
But there's a new thing. The new generation, I don't think.
No, they haven't got the memo.
Yeah.
No, they don't have the memo.
Our parents weren't that political.
Mine neither. Because they had
Neither of mine.
Just doing this. Sub to Jake D. Sub to him twice. He does great reviews and live streams.
Thank you.
Plugging everybody, and I appreciate it.
Too. I know I'm sounding pretty petty, but I could use the subs. I'm not making anything else, but the more subs I get, the more I'll feel like I should do something.
Yes, we need to. We're gonna have to start clipping this stuff out and send it and just put it in the New York Times.
It's called peer pressure.
Yeah.
And it works.
Oh, Biden's presidency. I think this is going to be great. I wish Foulball was here. I wanted to talk about this thing. You talk about how Biden's presidency has empowered the left. And what do you say here? Hold on. Before I do this. Has empowered the left. They're emboldened. They're all coming out of the woodwork to assault, to center and right, to buckle up. Yeah. Well, here's what I think is actually going to happen. And they're already doing it. The left, these civilized people, they eat each other. On day one, Joe Biden. eliminate single-sex sports. So that means every potential collegiate athlete that's a female in this nation can look to their parents who voted for Joe Biden as literally responsible for something that's going to impact their very lives.
Why did you fuck my chances?
All right, so does this mean LeBron could move over to the WNBA now?
I think it does. This is why I wish Papa was here. Me and him on the end of his podcast, we're talking about that.
Men could could put themselves into women's sports and outperform the women in the roles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen much. I mean, does anyone even want?
I know what I'm gonna start training for.
I see it happening. I absolutely see this is happening because there's going to be a lot of people who just want to compete for sports. There's a lot of people who want attention in this day and age. There's going to be. Listen, you telling me there's not a guy who's really fast at track and field who maybe he has some of these feelings anyway. It was like, man, you know what? I might as well.
So you know what? I'm 43 years old and my body is almost broken down, but I'm gonna find the least effort sport and join the women's league there. And I'll be like, you can't. I'm gonna be like, you can't touch me. I'm the fucking women's curling champion. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, there's so few sports that it's not based on strength, and I mean, one thing I'll say about it is this: you want to talk about low impact sports, and talk about golf, because I would put my sister up against most of you guys out there. Because it is a sport based on skill and talent and being able to use your own skills and a very basic set of chance outcomes. The thing is that so many more sports are based on strength, endurance, and things that.
No, I want minimal effort, like curling. Curling is very minimal effort.
Well, you could
don't say that. Curling is actually a very difficult.
Give me a week training at curling. I'll become the best damn curler ever.
Well, you have to know how to brush a broom, use a broom correctly.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain sports where when strength and body structure do not matter at all, no big deal for it to be fully co-ed. Curling is probably one of those. Darts
but most of the sports people actually give a damn about are the sports that depend a lot of physical power.
Agree.
And
here's an example.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly which team was it, but I remember I think it was the female Brazilian national team. They played against a team of teenagers from another country, a bunch of 17 to 16-year-olds. Guess who won?
It was the U15 boys team. It was
U15 boys, yeah.
U15. And the U.S. women's national team in soccer does the same thing. That's actually how they train. They play against top U15, U16 boys teams. They usually get their asses kicked, but that's who they play against when they're training for the World Cup.
These are older professionals, and these are teenage kids who probably don't actually give much of a damn about the sport themselves.
Oh, no. These clubs they're playing, these are like... These are professional development leagues. So these kids on these U15, U16 teams, they're looking to go pro. It's the equivalent of college football, right? Like,
yeah.
Top end college football. That's the type of soccer teams they're playing against. So I mean, make no mistake. It's like pro. It's pros versus college is the rough equivalent to how you'd think of it.
Exactly. I think this law that Biden's trying to do is going to ruin American sports. And thank God other countries aren't doing that, because most of them actually see that this is a bit stupid. Because
I love it.
There are actual laws against girls entering in male games.
That rule was already broken, though. That rule was already broken.
It's just that people know that if girls do play a game, they are going to lose horribly.
And speaking of which, I want to slightly push back on Kate and Rowan Ginger Raven. She says, I'm confident Serena can kick a lot of dudes who have no tennis training, but I'm pretty sure she would lose to. And didn't she?
She did lose. She did. She got scraped by a bottom feeder. By a men's bottom feeder.
Yeah. And Serena I'm not going to go West Moody with Serena Williams.
I mean,
I could.
Look, Serena would kick my ass in tennis all day long.
Yeah.
Make no mistake.
We'd
all get our ass
easily.
She would destroy all of us. Let's be honest. We suck.
Tennis because I'm not trained in tennis.
But that's the thing. We haven't trained. So that's the women and men have
I'm not
different
a pro
bodies.
tennis player. Of course, you fucking annihilate me.
And even you guys are talking about the low impact sports. I mean, LPGA golfers cannot compete on the PGA. And on top of that, let's take a sport that's not even a sport, esport. Remember that all female esports team?
They lost horribly.
It's not that women couldn't be successful at this. I'm sure they could. There's an interest at level. How many women are going to play however many hours you need to get good as an esport?
I don't want to sound sexist to anyone here, but let's be honest. Most things like video games, comic books, and cartoons, shit like that, about 80% to 90% are mainly male audience. Let's be honest. Boys are more attracted to this thing than girls. I mean, there are some that are attracted too, but it's mainly boys. Let's be honest.
Yeah. A question about the esport team, though. Was that a stunt where they put together, just whomever they could find for the female esport team, or were these legit, competitive gamers?
I think they just put them together.
Well, of course they got their asses kicked then.
Agreed.
Exactly.
And I do think a women's esports team could work, but you have to get enough female interest to the women.
They are a smaller group. They are a smaller selection that you can choose members of excellence from. It's the truth of the numbers game. It's the idea if you've got a larger sample size, you can choose more, and the more will be higher, have better deviation. They will be very near the top. If you've got a group of women's, then you will choose, but your outliers will be slightly less than the whole, unless you have a large enough group. You need a sample size to choose from. You need a whole lot of them. And you need to encourage that and go grab them, because they probably aren't the most vocal, the most out there, the most trying to prove themselves. They got to be competitive.
Yeah, and I have seen individual esport athletes, if that's what you would call them, e-gamers who are girls who are really fucking good at specific games.
They could roast some guys.
Yeah, because I'm into like tech and stuff, so I've seen girls that can really fucking go at these different sports. But again, when you're talking about fielding a team, you need multiple people who all have that same interest, and it'll happen. You just got to let things happen naturally.
Over time, it will naturally happen. You're right, Vigilante.
It'll happen because who doesn't? Everyone likes to fucking.
That's all skill. That's all timing. That's all mental agility and use of the controllers.
Yeah.
So let's be honest. There was this research. I don't remember who did it, but it was like this. They put about a group of 15 boys in one room alone, and they put a group of 15 girls in one room themselves. It was a challenge where they had to work together and to come to a higher conclusion. And I'm not lying here. The boys, they had problems among themselves. They looking to challenge each other to see who was the superior one. Until they found the one that was better than all the others, and they started following him. Like a pack mentality. Follow the alpha, you stay in your position because you're the beta. They did this in a couple of hours, and they can finish the test perfectly in a unit because they respected the leader, the higher one. Took his orders, did everything right. The girls on the other side, and this is not a lie, this was an actual thing. Well, they failed horribly because they were fighting with each other. I'm not trying to sound sexist, but let's be honest. Women actually have more competition and hate through each other.
It depends on the situation and the problem presented.
There's evolutionary biology that does support that. I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah. And Dark Ages 911. Oh, go ahead. Real quick before you go back to that, Dark Ages from Twitch, because we don't get much from Twitch. Go ahead and ask your question. I'm not sure if you're still here, but Dark Ages 9117, please ask your question. Shout out to anyone who's watching on Twitch. But he said there's a evolutionary biology to support that competitiveness with women. In competitiveness in general, as you said, initially there was a battle for who was the alpha, and then when that was established, then the hierarchy came, but that battle came first. So that there is an evolutionary psychology at play for a lot of stuff.
And I think I stomped on Jake D. So Jake, did you have a point that you still need to get out?
It depends, I think, on what the problem being presented to solve is. So without a little bit more info on what the task was that needed to be solved, it's hard to make the judgment.
It's more of a giant paint in a paintball-like game. You ever played paintball?
Of course.
I actually never done paintball.
It's fun.
Put in a dark room with paintball guns, a couple of military-like suits. They must prepare a strategy to fight against one another. Then they will be put inside a dark with the lights turned off using one of those crazy red lights. They have to take off each other's team.
Well, yeah, that's a situation that you need to determine a hierarchy and a leader, and that's absolutely going to be huge about your success. One of the things I think back on, though, to piggyback on what you were saying, Draco, is, when I was a kid growing up, I played soccer, right? And the guys, we'd beat the crap out of each other, but we'd help the guy up after you took his legs out, right? Now, I would referee girls soccer at the same time because it was a great way to make a few bucks, man. They'd throw me $15-20 a game. It was awesome. You could do 5-6 games a weekend. It was when you're 15 years old, that was good money. And you'd be reffing these games, and these girls were vicious to each other, right? And that's to your point about this experiment, Fenrir. And nobody did it. The guys that hit each other beat the crap out of each other, and like I say, they'd help each other up, say, "Hey, nice job, man," whatever. The girls they'd flat. Yeah, the girls would flatten the woman, and then they kick her while she was down. The dudes didn't do that for the most part.
I have one counter. I have one counter to clarify. I want to make sure, because to make this to make it a fair social experiment, from your point of view, Jake D, did the leadership, the coaches, and that sort of thing, did they treat unsportsmanlike behavior the same on both sides?
No,
that you saw?
Absolutely not. No, I'm sure he'll be back. He comes in. His signal seems to be a little in and out sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But yeah, no, not at all, man. Now there were exceptions, of course, but most male teams looked down on unsportsmanlike behavior. Now, you had your unusual outliers that wasn't true. Like, everybody had this one club that we played against that was dirty, and we all hated them. We didn't like playing those guys. And it was up and down that organization. But everybody knew these guys were dirty, unsportsmanlike shits. And they were the outlier, right? It was like one group in the state was like that. And the girls' teams, on the other hand, for the most part, they didn't consider unsportsmanlike conduct to be an issue.
They allowed it. The coaches said nothing. The people from your tier, the referees, were not allowed to chastise.
Oh, the refs certainly did. But, if...
Because I could see internal, to finish this point, I could see internal. I could see if you have a girls' team and there being, I think, a good adjective would be catty or internally adversarial. They would encourage their teammates for chastising the downed opponent, especially if there was issue internally, that they all wanted to prove themselves better than the other girls' team, and that was functionally encouraged. But I also wanted to make sure that the idea externally that authority figures treated the unsportsmanlike behavior as an issue. And it sounds like you're saying on the boys' teams, it was treated that way. On the girls' teams, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was, like a guy hurt me, nearly broke my leg one time. Homeboy got benched, right? The guy on the other team. And you'd see similar really nasty stuff happen. And there was, you didn't find nearly so much discipline coming down from the leadership of the coach in the similar situation.
Were you like playing
That's a matter of.
Were you like playing the Cobra Kai of soccer teams or something?
I'm just guessing you've never played soccer yourself, Slasher, because
I've played soccer, but not organized. I've never played a single organized sport in my life. It's been me and my friends. Actually, no, I have played organized sports. I forgot. I was part of this thing, the PAL. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, contrary to the perception of most Americans, soccer is a very high.
You do know the sport is called football, right?
I do.
Only
but
you
most
Americans
of the people,
call it soccer.
I know. Most of the people watching are stateside.
It's called football.
You say that, but we got an international audience.
That's true.
Angola.
We had.
I've played soccer a lot, and I managed to make someone bleed while they were helping me up. Because
it's called football.
I stumbled back and elbowed him in the face by accident.
Yeah, it depends on the ball.
No, football's tomorrow.
Depends on the type of ball.
We're a victim of our birthplace here, Fenrir. It's hard to get that out of your head.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, all sports are dying, so soon it won't matter. All sports will be
mostly dying in America.
They are dying.
I really doubt Europe's going to drop football that easy. It's a very famous sport.
You're right. I don't think they will. I think it's football in Europe is too ingrained. I think football would
not just Europe. The Middle East loves it too. The Middle East, South America, it's pretty much loved everywhere. Even Asia, it's pretty much loved everywhere except the States. Because let's be honest, your team sucks.
Well, it has a cult. Yeah, but it still has a cult following here. That's what it is. It's like a cult following. It's not really. It's not mainstream.
Fenrir, I'm just going to put a little cold water on your point of view simply by saying there are more European football fans in terms of the number of people in the U.S. than there are in any individual country in Europe.
I know that. There's also the Middle East too. The Middle East has it too. They have a very good team. Not good to win the championship, but still good. Still good.
Yep.
Like we have the MLS here, but nobody gives a shit about that.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm a season ticket holder to the brand new team down here in Central Texas.
Really?
They just got a team. How many teams are they up to now in that league?
Oh gosh, I'd have to double check. I think it's around 20, but I'd have to look.
Okay.
I've never paid attention to MLS ever.
Okay, I gotta ask, who here is
I just know it exists. Who here is a what?
Who here is a comic book fan?
I think we are.
I'm old school.
Oh, good.
I don't get anything past like the mark of like 1995.
Good. I want to start this conversation. Did anyone pick up the books called Future State?
I have seen them, but no, I would never pick those up.
Smart man. I still don't know why do I pick them up. I have read almost every single one that has come out, and I have no idea why. I am giving myself migraines, and I don't know why. I am reading them.
Yes, I get it. It's cool, but you like making yourself pain. You like giving yourself pain.
I don't like that. I don't know why the fuck am I still doing this.
I don't know either.
Wasn't JD just talking about this before the stream started?
I think we might have been a little bit.
Yeah, I think V-Dub was mentioning that Fenrir was probably going to want to chat about this if he popped in.
Yeah. So
yes. Mainly.
Brazilian lesbian Wonder Woman.
I kind of hope for Lord Thought or any of the other guys to be here. Any other guys to be here. It would be a. They kind of understand more conversation than me, than any of you guys. They kind of understood this conversation more because they were also catching up on this, and yeah.
So, is It's what they're just giving all the DC characters identity politic characters now. Is that what they're doing?
Exactly.
Pretty much. They're replacing the old characters that everyone loves for new ones no one even gives a damn about.
Yeah, stop being a bigot. Why don't you want what is it called?
A gay Brazilian Wonder Woman or a
gay Brazilian Wonder Woman or a Flash without legs? Why are you such a bigot? Why?
Or a Flash without legs or a not gender binary Flash or a...
Why does gay Brazilian Wonder Woman sound like something you would find on Pornhub?
Because you would.
Because you would, I guess. I'm going to be honest. Almost all Brazilian or Hispanic...
Is that where they're just getting their ideas from now?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because Cyclops and fucking Wolverine are DPing Jean Grey as we speak. So yes, they are getting it from the hub.
They're having sex now. They're in a freeway relationship with Jean Grey, and apparently the two of them are fucking while she works.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's not my Wolverine. I grew up loving Wolverine, and I mean that's not just a retcon. That is a
destruction of character.
A destruction of character. Yes.
Are you a fan of Professor X?
Oh hells yeah!
They turned him into a psychotic lunatic who hates all humans and wants to eradicate humanity for mutant kind to rule everything.
I've got great news, Fenrir. That's not Professor X.
I really do. There was an issue where he mistreated Franklin Richard and told him he is not a mutant. That Franklin used his powers to make himself look like a mutant and threw him away because he was not special. That's not Professor X.
No.
Professor X would take a kid, either he was mutant or not. He would take him in. He would teach him. He would help him to control his powers. He would make him into something good. He wouldn't just throw a kid away.
You know, we get hit over the head with a word a lot these days, and that word is tolerant. And I'm convinced that the people who throw that word around don't actually know the history of a character like Professor X. Because the very definition of tolerance when I was a kid was Professor X.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Charles Xavier. He was tolerance. He was a good man who helped everyone, not depending on who it was. Hell, he actually married a freaking alien.
He did. But yeah, they don't
Well, the alien that he married was still a woman and was still externally white. And
yeah,
he was
pretty
a
much.
symbol of the patriarchy, a white male.
And she was hot too.
Colonizer,
Don't forget that.
He was a white male, white disabled male.
Doesn't matter. He should have married a fat blue-haired land whale, trans woman of color. But he's
oh my
bigot.
god, this is fucking stupid.
So that's why he gets
Because that's the definition. That is the social justice, the lowering of all white males to the least common denominator.
It's actually it's really for real. I've always said there's a plan for each group, and they execute it to near perfection. If you really look at it, each group. There's a plan definitely for white men. You guys are the number one target, but fuck, they don't like black women. That's why they always portray them as shitty as possible. That's why every black woman character is fucking terrible. Storm, we're talking about the X-Men.
Storm was awesome.
Great
Storm was awesome
years.
until I heard what has gone on in the X-Men comics for a while now.
Yeah.
I thought Storm was one of the best characters in the X-Men when I was still reading comics.
Storm was one of the most popular characters in comics at all, overall.
First of all, in the X-Men comics, all the women mutants had the better powers.
Yes. They were awesome.
Every single woman mutant, bad or good, in the X-Men comics, they had way more superior powers than people who could, use metal or turn into metal or shit like that.
Exactly. Women were well treated in those comics.
They were treated like interesting female characters instead of replacement male characters in female bodies, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Captain Marvel, you know. Well, she wasn't really Captain Marvel. Shazam used to be Captain Marvel. That's a whole couple of
No,
can
to
of
me,
worms.
Shazam is still Captain Marvel.
The-
Billy
the
Batson is the
omni-powered-
Captain Marvel.
Agreed.
The omni-powered Sue?
Yeah, Omnipower Sue. The chat has been on fire. I've missed like whole conversations about
I see
$1,300
Sentinel.
bags.
What's up,
and everything.
Sentinel?
But yeah, hell Sentinel. Hell, I appreciate it. Yeah, it was one sexy alien. But that's another thing. No
Lavandre?
sexuality.
Hell yeah, Lavandre. Oh.
Heterosexuality is bad. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
You're
for
not
some
allowed
reason.
to be heterosexual.
That's why I'm afraid of what they will do to the X-Men in the MCU. They're probably not even going to call them the X-Men. They'll probably be the X people or the X ones or some crap.
I'm
X-Dem.
becoming the sexman.
The X-Dem.
Thanks them.
They'll probably turn Jean Grey into a black dude or some black stereotype, or they're probably going to turn Professor Xavier gay or something. I don't fucking care anymore.
But yeah,
Dude,
Yeah,
you
the
know
first-
for sure Magneto and Xavier are going to be ex-lovers.
Oh,
well, what's
God,
that-
You
damn.
know
what
this is what they're going
what
to do.
Sentinel says
already
in the
had the
X-Men
first
comics. Sentinel says in the X-Men comics, all the women mutants are smoking hot. Yes.
Yeah.
Already had the first step before the property even left Fox, at least as far as cinematic universes. Maybe we shouldn't call them the X-Men anymore, Charles. Oh,
Yeah.
that was such a cringe line.
But they want to
Yeah.
make these type of characters whatever. Don't ruin Wolverine and the Professor again. Wolverine is getting fucked by Cyclops right now. And his
Yeah.
cheeks clapped by Cyclops while Jean Grey watches.
Or Wolverine is the one on top and Cyclops is the bottom.
I don't know.
Do we have that clip of Az from Friday Night Tights?
That's exactly what it is. I don't have the hot toys. What is it called? Or something? I don't know. But yeah, that's exactly what's going on with Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Wolverine. I thought Mojo was a female until I found out otherwise, and apparently an X-Force. It's already happened. I think referring to Xavier being gay. X-Folk, according to IB. Eiffel Tower?
That's it, the reverse Eiffel Tower, yeah.
Reverse Eiffel Tower.
Character Vixen. The DC Comics character Vixen.
Yeah, I know Vixen.
Yeah.
Recent comic book is awful. I mean, the art is good. I can take the art, but what they did to Vixen, I mean, she's one of the most beautiful characters in the entire DC universe, one of the most beautiful black women there. And she looks like a man in her own comic. I mean, her body, the down parts of the body, it's okay. It looks like a woman. But up the neck, she looks more like a man than pretty much probably Superman.
Okay, let's look at this.
What they did to her hair. I mean, look for Vixen. Go right now on Google. Look for Vixen.
I don't
Modern.
understand that. This desire to make your characters somehow no longer attractive. I don't even get why you want to do that.
Because they think that men are the best of everything and that they want to turn their characters into the best of anything. So their characters have to be men. And they
They're
think
trying to encourage androgyny.
Well,
They
all
don't
right.
want- that's why they want men to be women, women to be men.
Going back to X-Men, what do they make Psylocke look like these days? I'll know right now that it's not Jim Lee era Psylocke. What's being drawn right now, but
originally Psylocke was white, right? Then they turn her
yes,
Asian
yes,
because
yes. That's
It was
another.
Rebecca
Yeah, that's another.
Braddock,
That's
and
a.
then she
she's
Yeah.
Captain
That's another.
Britain's sister.
That's another. I guess you would say that's another quote unquote
Still
problematic
functionally is.
thing was that she was race
Yeah, but
swapped.
that actually makes sense because it still gave them a connection to superheroes because she was Captain Britain's sister, right?
She is
And
Captain Britain's
The
sister
Mandarin
in
turned
mind,
her
and
Japanese. The Mandarin
She was
actually turned her
exchanged
Japanese.
for the body.
They're probably
an
gonna make it that
assassin.
she's his dad's Asian sister because his dad cheated on his mom or something, or just turn Captain Britain Asian.
They might turn Captain Britain Asian.
Why not?
That wouldn't surpass them. Oh my God, why am I giving them ideas?
Yeah, I'm trying to look for see how Psylocke looks. I have Vixen brought up, but I'm looking for Psylocke now. I found one that I thought
A
was
lot of the
legit.
Vixen,
art.
a lot of these Vixen pictures must be old because they look too damn good.
Well,
Yeah,
Vixen
I
looked good. Vixen looked good, but she had like a little bit of a Wolverine haircut going, but she still looked good.
Yeah, but it was
just
like more
look
the Holly Berry
Vixen.
thing. I can't find a Psylocke modern. She still looks hot in all these pictures. But I did find Vixen. Let's get that put up. So this is Vixen back in the days. You might remember old Vixen from the DCAU. Classic.
That one.
In Suicide Squad, she kind of had like a red mullet in the comics.
This is her now. Still hot. You see that mannish neck thing going up?
Yeah, I mean, and look at her chest. I mean, she looks. It's like. What's the word I'm looking for?
Masculinized her. Like, look how much more masculine. Yes, this is obviously a more cartoon image, and this is more of a comic book trying to be realistic. But look how much more masculine her face looks. Is this Vixen or is this? They got the butterfly. Maybe that is still Vixen. But
I'd rather this one than the previous
I am
one.
not DC. I don't know what her specific set was.
Well, look, see if you could find what she looked like in the Suicide Squad comics, because she had some really weird fucking haircut.
I mean,
but she had good costume.
Oh, Captain Marvel.
Oh God.
Yes.
Yeah, Vixen
This
always
has
had
been
the
a
best
published
costume.
Marvel comic
She was
book.
one of the sexiest. She was one of the sexiest superheroes in DC.
Yeah.
Carol down. Oh yeah, go ahead.
This is in a published Marvel comic book right here. This is a
you're
panel.
not bringing up those images, are you?
Oh, I brought that image up.
Yeah, you brought that image up.
This is a
That's
published.
That's quote professional art.
You can drop the men, but keep the phone crap from the Marvel Indigenous Voices comic.
Yeah, in which Daredevil texted her. Daredevil, the blind guy, texted her. Could have used voice to text, but for fuck's sake.
Mary G says they're just drawing Bree's personality.
They are.
I like that idea, Mary G. I like that concept.
Dude, I'm a terrible artist and I'm left-handed. I could produce something better than that blindfolded with my right hand.
Oh, that's right.
I can actually sit down with my tablet in sometime in the near future. I'll probably, if you push me a little bit further, I'm probably going to sketch up a better version of this.
I could probably do better with a kid's Etch-a-Sketch.
And that's really the thing. Not only does this character look, I guess, supposed to be like, how do you get away with drawing things to that quality?
Yeah, and getting a paycheck from it.
It's incredible.
Shout
out to Parrothead. If you like pina coladas, you'll like Parrothead.
What's up, Parrothead?
Those of us who are fans of short attention span theaters, the host has passed. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I wasn't big on short attention span theater, but apparently the host has passed. That's sad. They want to subvert ideals of traditional attractiveness, which is why every single one of them looks like an androgynous hipster. Something to that.
They always give them those weird haircuts where they chop another part of the hair but leave the other one around.
Yeah,
she's kind of got that She's kind of got that screwed up Madonna mid-90s hair mess.
All right, but also, how come sometimes they draw her like Spider-Man, and sometimes they draw her like Beast? Like, why do they do that? This is like
no consistency.
Because they're high.
Is one of her powers weight fluctuation? Why do they keep doing this?
They're just high.
On the power too.
It's maybe it's just that time of the month, and because their superpowers gets exaggerated. I don't know. I think Mary G is right. They're just drawing her personality.
They're high.
I mean, I don't pick up these comic books, but people always on Twitter and shit are always sharing everything Marvel and DC does with the way they fuck up their characters.
Oh shit! I forgot all about this.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Oh, fucking Manverse.
Yeah.
Yes, another published
Looks
Marvel comic panel.
Looks like the fucking son of Drago. Ivan Drago's
right there.
son. Ivan
Right there.
Drago's son. Ridiculous.
Look at this picture. 2 characters. One is a female. The other is supposed to be female.
This is fucking bad. How this is supposed to be a professional company.
I got nothing, man. Once again, I can draw better than this right-handed,
I
blindfolded in the
can
dark.
too, on a napkin.
But they published this. What does this say to the standards of comic book?
Yeah, no, but
It
Anthroparian.
kinda
This is
should
2
give
women
it
in this
should give-
panel,
You know what it
Anthroparian.
should do? You know what it should do? It should give us all hope.
Yeah, they fell
Look, and
upwards,
you-
as Kate said.
Dos
And-
females.
Remember that thing that
Go ahead.
she always does, that saying that smiling is bad because it is bad for female superheroes. That's not true. When a superhero smiles to the civilian, it says that everything's gonna be okay. You don't gotta be scared because I'm gonna solve this, and you're all gonna be safe.
Yeah,
But
Anthroparian
now-
that is a woman.
Yes, those are both women, Anthroparian.
And
That's
apparently
Captain
Larry
Marvel
King
in the
died
middle.
today. Larry King died today.
Yeah, Larry King.
Yeah,
Larry
today or
King died.
yesterday. Yeah.
He
Oh
did
man, did
pass.
not even know that. Oh man, did not see that. R.I.P. Larry King.
Oh, yeah, dude, there's been a few big deaths the past couple of days. I'm blanking on the name, but from Babylon
Hank Aaron
5.
died. Hank Aaron
Yeah.
died too.
You're up
Hank
for
Aaron.
one.
I did see Hank Aaron. I did see that. That was sad.
The actress who played Delin in Babylon 5.
Mira Furlan.
Yes. Yeah, Larry King.
Overtime this week. Good night.
Tanya Roberts died and then didn't die and then died again.
I did see that. Yeah.
Dude, that was weird.
The dude's always been posting the hot women again. That is it. And Carol Danvers used to be Carol Danvers. Carol Danvers used to be hot, incredibly hot.
When she was
I thought that's what we were
when
getting before I
Miss
saw the first.
Marvel, you mean?
Yeah.
I thought that's what we were getting before we saw the first pictures from the set of Captain Marvel. I thought we were getting a version of, because I had shut off from comics between the years of 2007 and 2009.
I think they use that as bait to get the old fans in.
What the?
It was gonna be good.
Well, I thought it was a little flaky when I saw that first green and black outfit, and I see her in it, and I actually see one of the pictures where they actually caught her smiling, and I'm going, okay, it might be okay, good.
So to
I knew it
V-Dub's
was gonna be
point,
shit the second they had Brie Larson.
this is Carol Manvers right here.
Yeah, Vigilante. I was gonna ask: is this from Marvel itself, or is this some idiot's fan art?
No, these are Marvel. Everything you
This
just
is
saw.
Marvel. This is
by
legit.
Marvel.
This is
Yes,
legit.
Marvel.
But
Were
All
published by
3 of
Marvel.
these are legit
All
Marvel.
three were published by Marvel. Every single thing.
see
we
what
just
I'm
shown.
talking about with the weight fluctuation, and it's like she's on a regimen of steroids, but sometimes lays off of it and then gets back
Cycle
on
on,
them.
cycle off. That she has to cycle on and cycle off like she's an athlete. That's what
This
it's going.
is the problem with the fucking multiple creators getting into it, because each of them are going to have their own individual style, and they're not going to match up, and they're going to blur the
Guys.
lines.
I didn't
Yes,
see this one, but this is bad.
I hadn't seen this one either. This is really bad.
Look,
Henry.
this character is so uninteresting that she has had 11 #1 issues in 4 years.
And that too. Yes, I've been
She
hearing
just
about
got
that
another one,
too.
so she's on 12 now.
She's been started over and over again. No one wants to read her. And now they don't know how to write her, to the point they're gonna give her the powers of Doctor Strange, because they think that the more powers she has, the more interesting she becomes.
Yeah. No.
Unwillingness to learn that
no.
these people have. The refusal to learn. They just refuse to learn.
Learning is not a factor. It is patriarchal. They must feel. They must have emotion and only motion.
She was an interesting character in the past because she had a drinking problem, and she was slowly learning how to surpass that problem. It showed her humanity. She was weak, but she was getting strong. Now she's a perfect, invincible god that is impossible to defeat. I mean, she lifted Thor's hammer, killed all the Avengers. Apparently, she's the most powerful being in the universe. So she could probably take on Vegeta and kill him too.
Best as ever. Old Brie, Kevin Feige's friend, Brie Larson. Man, this stuff is nasty. Wouldn't go near this crap. What is that? It's not male or female. That's not a woman. That's not a man. That's something that you wouldn't understand. I do not know what's going on with this Captain Marvel, either Mary G.
Yeah, this is what V-Dub refers to as Carol Manvers.
Yeah, or Carl Manvers.
Yeah, Carl Manvers. Yeah.
Carl Manvers.
Yeah. Built like 1987 era Hulk Hogan. Shout out to Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
I'd say she's like half. All right, anyone who knows wrestling, she's like half Randy Orton, half Scott Steiner.
Oh, Randy Orton. She does kind of look like steroided up Randy Orton.
No, like more like Scott Steiner up top. It's like what the fuck?
Yeah, there's like a Randy.
Even Scott Steiner with that fucked up chest tattoo he has now.
Yeah, because he has that weird thing going on with his chest, which is again why you should not do steroids, kids. Does not work out,
Look,
man.
that's true. And quick question: what do you think? Do you think that Iron Fist should become Asian now? Because apparently only Asian men can do martial arts.
Everything up. I want these woke idiots to go as far with the wokeness as they possibly can. We talked about the Title IX women's shit. Keep doing more of it. Just be as racistly woke and as insane as you possibly can, so you can ruin everything and everyone will know you're idiots.
Iron Fist is white and has white privilege, so he shouldn't have the things that he has by learning through Asian monks. It should have been an Asian kid who was in an Asian town being raised Asianly to learn freaking martial arts.
And this is why My Hero Academia outsells the entire American comic industry by itself.
Fucking idiots. The writer.
Doesn't anyone also realize every fucking martial arts movie that has a white guy in it has some old Asian guy beating the fuck out of him to learn martial arts for like probably a 20-minute scene, and no matter what movie it is, like
this is not a factor. You must be speaking of your internalized misogyny.
I mean, they're even going after Cobra Kai because apparently 2 white guys can't know martial arts and teach it.
Well, I guess I'm sure none of these people ever watched the UFC before.
Demanding for the writers to ruin everything and give Mr. Miyagi a bastard child, probably a girl, who uses martial arts because of her oppression and the oppression of her community. For fuck's sakes!
Just another red shirt. Enjoy your dinner. Again, you're not just another red shirt. You're the red shirt. And see you later. Go ahead, man.
Have a good night.
Seeing you.
Have a good night. But yeah, do you agree with that? That only Asian people should be martial arts superheroes?
That's what I was saying. No.
Yeah, because they're gonna destroy Snake.
They're
gonna destroy Snake. My favorite GI Joe and turn him into a rich Asian kid, because apparently white orphans can't be adopted by ninja clans.
Yeah, that was the whole point.
They already do that in the G.I. Joe movies we already saw over the past decade?
I didn't see those movies.
In the modern comics, Snake Eyes was abandoned in the Rashikage temples. And since he was a white blonde kid, he was getting white privilege. So they're going to turn him into an Asian kid who was abandoned. Because that kind of ruins the story arc. Because
the whole point
Snake Eyes became the best because he felt like an outsider. This kid is going to be perfectly among his kind in that place and not feel like an outsider at all.
It destroys the character. But not only that, I mean, the Sentinel's got a great comment you should highlight here, V-Dub.
Which one? I've been waiting to get to the comments. I'm letting you
Right,
guys.
right. The very most recent one, man.
Yeah, he brought up what I was going to bring up too. Chuck, I was going to say Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Like I was going to say, is anyone going to doubt that he was a martial artist? Like he's a white dude, but would anyone turn down martial arts lessons from Chuck Norris?
Fuck
no. I would take them in a second. The guy is a real life badass.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. I mean, come on.
Chuck Norris.
Did you guys
We never got to see those two square off, did we?
We never did get to see those two square off.
Think about this for fictional characters. You talked about Iron Fist, so I'll get my camera ready if I got off cam. What about the classic?
Let's be honest.
Batman is a martial artist.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, Batman is a martial artist and a detective.
Exactly.
Martial artist, detective.
You ever heard of Gotham Eye? They made him Asian there.
They sure did make him Asian.
Yeah. But yeah, Snake Eyes and Iron Fist were equals in some way because they trained to become the best because they felt like outsiders. Because everyone always told them they didn't deserve to be there. And they wanted to prove that they did deserve to be there. That's why they became as good as they are. Because everyone hated them. Because they looked nothing like everyone else.
No, wait a minute. We still can have blonde white guy martial artists. It's just that they're all going to be like Chris Farley and Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yeah, which was an underrated movie, by the way.
Look, one of my dreams is at least get the capability to write Snake Eyes. Just once. I want to write a small comic book of him for IDW. It's a small thing, at least just 5 issues. I know how to do it right.
Okay. Well, hey, we'll push until we can get it done, man.
I'd mainly like to explore that old idea of him and Cobra Commander being relatives. I know it was already proven to be a fake thing, but still, I would like to explore it. Alternate universe crap.
Oh, shit. They're doing enough with that as is. Let me
All
get
right. V-Dub, I got to get rolling, my friend.
No problem, man. I appreciate it. Let me let's plug your channel.
Oh, you bet, man. Yeah, you can find me at Jake D right here on YouTube, just like you see it. If you see this logo, you got the right channel, by God. Really, really appreciate you having me on, V-Dub. It's been far too long for me to come here and join you on one of your streams on your channel.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, V-Dub and a lot of other folks, frequent guests over on my Howling About Entertainment on Sunday evenings, and we all pal around with each other on everybody's channels with a lot of stuff, man. So it's good to be here on your channel, and I will most certainly be back, my friend.
Yeah, cool. Definitely. And I'll be on your channel tomorrow.
Hey, excellent.
Nice meeting you, man.
All right, everybody, have a good evening.
All right. Yeah, please.
Have a good night.
Jake D. Peace out, Jake. I appreciate you showing up. I'm actually looking to get onto the YouTube so I can get his. That's a comment from earlier. I'm gonna try to drop his link in the chat.
Because just another red shirt was dropping those links like you got highlighted.
He went to get dinner, and I'm boomering up everything.
Yeah, to all of you old timers that stopped reading comics, you were the lucky ones because they are destroying many great characters. I mean, from G.I. Joes to Transformers. I'm even afraid of what the next G.I. Joe movies are going to be like. I mean, I loved all the G.I. Joes as they were. From Duke to Shipwreck to, I mean, even Ripcord, I just like how they're constantly race changing him because he's a ginger.
Well, gingers are not allowed.
There is no ginger. Never
Gingers
more.
have never existed. No one ever knows of their existence. You're making this thing
That's
up.
a funny thing, too. How many gingers, how many, quote, these things that they refer to as gingers are just black people, apparently.
Yeah. Apparently
And
that's
there are
not
black
racist.
gingers, by the way. They do exist.
There are black gingers. A few in Africa, too. Look,
yes.
One day I dream to at least get the rights to the G.I. Joe franchise because I'm going to clean everything slate on. I always see all the G.I. Joe movies, but they don't feel G.I. Joe-ish. They feel like this is just some very rushed and unplanned Michael Bay-like thing. Too much explosions. I mean, The only things that I liked about the movies were the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadows scenes.
Yeah.
As much as a G.I. Joe fan I am, I can't say I've watched a single one of those movies.
I didn't see either. I had no. There was an era where, and I love The Rock, but like when I saw The Rock in the movie, I went away. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a big budget, cheesy ass, shitty action movie.
First of all, they got why did they get The Rock to play Roadblock? Terry Crews would have been way better as Roadblock. But Terry Crews
he would have
more like Roadblock than fucking The Rock did. The Rock looked like he could have been like another, just pick other fucking random guys.
You wanna know what I hated the most about that movie? Roadblock didn't fucking rhyme once.
Was he just doing The Rock the whole time?
Yeah, for fuck's sake, that's why I Roadblock. He rhymes. He freaking rhymes.
No, he's also a giant fucking, like, he's like a diesel shack. Like a little bit shorter, but he's
great chef, a good friend, a big piece of muscle to get out of bad situations, and he has a bigger heart than his muscles. He's a good guy, and he also knows how to keep the spirits up for the Joes.
Peace out, Mary G. I appreciate you joining. So,
take care, Mary G.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you for adding.
Did you guys ever read the G.I. Joes going up?
I haven't paid attention to G.I. Joe in a while.
If you did, which Joe was your favorite from a certain point?
Snake Eyes actually was my favorite.
Mostly, it's always
Snake Eyes. A lot of people will always go to Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow.
I wouldn't consider myself an actual Joe fan. The one that made the greatest impression on me was Snake Eyes.
Exactly.
All right. What about the figures? What if you were a figure cutter? Like, who was your favorite figure?
To me, Snake Eyes was number 2. He was my number 2.
Snake Eyes with Timber, right? The one that came with Timber.
Timber Wolf is Little Wolf.
Yeah. The second one, the one where he had the first one, he just had like sunglasses on his mask. The second one, he had like a knight's visor.
Yeah, I prefer that second one. To me, Snake Eyes was always the second best Joe. I prefer Duke first, then Snake Eyes, then Flint, then Commander Hawk.
I was a Snake Eyes, Roadblock, then Duke.
It was always about the story. Duke was the classic hero, serviceman, do the right thing. That was Duke to me.
Yeah, that's the same to me.
The complex story of Snake Eyes was the thing that drew me to him as a more interesting character. But like I said, I wasn't that deep into all the lore. I mean, I barely remember anything about. To tell you how long I've been outside of it. I had, I was older when it came about, so maybe that had a lot to do with it. But I remember seeing, and I was very interested in that the television movie they made about Shangri-La. I can't even remember what that was.
Yeah,
that was the last time I watched it. Seriously.
Look, if you like G.I. Joes, there's this new cartoon that was made in the 2010s or something. It was called G.I. Joe's Renegade. It was amazing. I mean, it's a different turn from the original stuff, but it was amazing. Well done. It was a good turn in the mythos as it begins their fight against Cobra.
Okay.
I have not seen
Sounds
it.
interesting.
Anyway, Beachhead. That's the man.
I remember the name. I remember a character. That's all.
Yeah. The movies they suck. I know the new Snake Eyes movie is gonna bomb. I will see it, but it will bomb because they're gonna make him talk too. Apparently, he's gonna start talking, and doing jokes in the movies too.
You know what it is? Hollywood is just incompetent, and they do the same thing. They only know how to make one type of movie, and so they force everything into that type of movie.
Exactly.
You have someone who has their own vision, and their own vision overrides the vision of adaptation of the character. I mean, so many of these arguments of the quality of of a movie based on some other piece of genre is usually about they don't get the fucking adaptation right.
All right, hold on.
The G.I. Joes? Sorry.
No, cool. We love the action figures, man. Dope.
This dude. Anyone remember this guy? Beachhead?
Vaguely.
Oh, Beachhead. Well, he was a serious dude. Beachhead was a serious dude. He always wanted to take control, if I remember correctly.
Well, all right. He's at least one of the better looking G.I. Joe figures. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I used to have an action figure of him with an orange mask.
And here's another guy just like him. This guy. He's the SWAT guy. Shockwave.
I remember Shockwave.
Oh my god, there's so many Joes that it's impossible to remember them all.
But they almost have the same look. They have the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
One
chat
thing.
has been on fire. Go ahead.
In the 90s, Scarlet and Lady J were one of the toughest women you could ever find in cartoons.
Yeah. There's so many comments that's been going on the past 20 minutes. You guys are so great. I want to get to all of them. This one I've been meaning to get to. Ephemeral. Stay the hell away from all this stuff. Please don't leave it sitting around where kids can read it, talking about all the woke shit.
Oh, no. I burn it. I burn it after buying it. I burn it.
Sentinel said that that's the John Cena of Marvel, referring to Captain Marvel. But John Cena was at least slightly successful. This bitch has nothing. She needs to get everyone else to give her a rub to make her relevant. Agreed. Keep putting these images up, and I'm going to have a drinking problem. Sorry, Anthony Perion, but we stopped. We have stopped. This is just another very short going to dinner. Only agents can do martial arts. Meet my friend Johnny Lawrence. And then this is what we talk about. Chuck Norris and John.
There you go.
John
Another series of movies where a fucking Asian dude taught a white dude to fucking do martial arts. Karate Kid. Like, get over it. White people can be taught martial arts. It's annoying.
Everyone can learn martial arts. I mean, they even think all martial arts come from Asia. But if you come from the Middle East,
fucking alien can come down. Alien can come down and live in New Jersey and be taught martial arts.
Yeah, look at the Ninja Turtles. They're mutants.
Ninja Turtles. Heroes
Exactly. There you go. Perfect example.
So, Hail Toxic Man Flu, who I know is probably following me over from yelling at parked cars with Comics Division. Shout out to Toxic Man Flu and all his different alternative accounts that he has. He says he was a fat white ninja for a while, but it didn't pay well, but he got a lot of ramen out of it. So that's also
was that Naruto World?
So IB, who at least understands the anagram part of this joke, only a ginger can call another ginger a ginger because it is an anagram. Ginger ninja, they can't be seen in daylight because they're so white, but apparently they can glow in the dark. So, but she isn't ginger herself. So I did not say anything about the gingers not having souls. She said they can go in the dark.
Yeah, but the G.I. Joe's franchise is one that is very on the hands of idiots. Hollywood doesn't know how to do franchises right.
Yeah.
They are stupid.
Other than Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is the best thing they've done any sort of.
It is perfect because you know that the producers and writers and everyone else, they're fans of the thing and respect all the material that they're being given. I mean, they were literally using everything. I didn't expect in season 3. I'm sorry, did you all see season 3?
I haven't seen any of Cobra Kai. I'm the only person on earth that hasn't. Go
ahead.
Oh,
man. You gotta watch it, man.
That thing. I didn't expect in season 3 for them to use that little girl that Daniel saved from the movie. I didn't expect that. I mean, what the? I didn't expect that. I mean, it gives a good moral story. Always be nice to others because you don't know where they're going to end in life.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally use everything. They even used this enemy in one of the movies to teach him martial arts. And actually made him grow as a character. Fuck the people that are saying that Cobra Kai doesn't treat Asians well and needs more Asian characters because they are doing very respectful when it comes to Asian representation. I mean, Mr. Miyagi still shows up as a ghost. Well, not a ghost. He's pretty much just around in certain ways, spiritually.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Just looking at the private chat. Okay, let's look at a few things in the chat. Are they turning Snake Eyes into fucking Deadpool? It looks like they are. And
Yes,
who's
they
the redheaded female Joe? I am
Oh,
old.
that was Scarlet.
Scarlet.
Scarlet. So I thought.
The sexiest.
12-inch Joes growing up, that tank, Jeep, and a boat. Good stuff. Cool stuff, man. I remember those 12-inch boys. I remember I had a friend whose dad collected all that stuff, and he had it all in boxes and wouldn't let us go in the room with all the cool old action figures. Like a live-action Radioactive Man movie. That would be interesting if it wasn't for wokeness. Radioactive Man and Fallout Boy. Radioactive Man and Fallout Boy. And Kate does indeed have a soul. So don't let Eric K and his rumors get you. And apparently the ginger, only a ginger can call another ginger. A ginger is a song by Tim Minchin. So if you're interested in that stuff, check him out. I guess I've never heard Tim Minchin until right now. I guess he has eyeliner. And everybody was kung fu fighting. Okay, that we're caught up in the chat.
Yeah, but what was that? What I want to say? Talking about representation, these idiots on Twitter don't actually give a shit about race because they are fucking racist themselves. I mean, do you see how in most anime, most people see tan people as black people in Japan?
Yeah, what they see tan people as black people. What is with this? Everybody like this making characters black that aren't black. I've seen Piccolo is apparently black as well.
Exactly. There's this character in My Hero Academia that looks like a bunny. What's her name? What's her name? Can't remember.
I'm not.
People thought that she was black, and they were attacking the voice actor for sounding white. Short story short, looks like it was found out the voice actor was actually a black woman. Funny story.
Oh, wow.
A black woman.
But she sounded white.
Yeah, she didn't sound black. They shut the fuck up the second they figured out about that. They disappeared. I mean, some hate fucking videos around, but they disappeared.
Because it just shows how racist they really are. Because they thought that somebody could sound white or black in and of itself is a racist thought. But it's ignorant. Not to say black people don't talk a certain way, white people. Everybody has a certain way of talking. But it's just like they assumed that anyone who was speaking proper English had to be trying to sound white. It's like that Smithsonian thing we were talking about earlier in the first stream.
Exactly.
Let's see some of this stuff. Apparently, Rowan does not have a soul. Rowan Ginger Raven does not have a soul because she's a goth. So we cannot confirm or deny whether or not Kate has a soul. So I don't want to give anyone misinformation. I'm a male in his 50s. Souls are optional for us too. So there may be a couple people in the chat without souls. So, just keep that in mind if you're in the chat. There may be some soullessness going on.
Friends, I think I got a soul. I think I do.
I believe I do too. Vigilante Williamson, get ready for the blackwash version of Dragon Ball Z when Zack Snyder gets his hand on the property. Remember, Nolan was interested in maybe
God, they're actually going to turn live action anime.
That's going to ruin everything. I did not know Nolan wants to do a live action Akira.
What the hell? The last one was shit. Why can't they just see some things were made to be live action, some things were not?
I have no idea how someone sounds a color. I don't get this crap. It's always pissed me off. I have literally, I bullshit you not when I was younger, because I grew up, I was from Detroit, and then I moved to like a rural area of Michigan, and I would literally have white people say I talk too ghetto and black people say I talk too proper. And this is what taught me to say fuck everybody. If I don't know you, eat my dick. That's been the attitude that I've went away with from that sort of shit. It's bullshit.
So you follow the Cartman method? Fuck everybody?
Fuck everybody. That's basically what happened. Sup, listen on my drive back from work. Hell 32 flavors of Nick Weiser. I hope work was well for you, man.
Hell 32 flavors. We were supposed to have done a stream. He never showed up.
You got.
Couldn't have the time.
I still want to see Alita Battle Angel. One of my fears is that Hollywood studios will start live action remakes of classic animes. They've already started. Shot Alita Battle Angel was as good as it was. I keep hearing how good it is.
Good because the producer was actually a fan.
Yeah, I agree. Ghost in the Shell was shitty. I didn't really like that. That was one where that race swap really hurt. Like they really need. That was one where that actress had to be Japanese for that to work. Like having, she just couldn't, because they kept it in the same world and it just made it so awkward. That's one where the Wokes would have been right in that one. You should have had an Asian actress.
Exactly. And I really don't want to see if they're ever going to do a live action version of Naruto, because there were actual black people in Naruto.
Yeah.
The hidden village in the clouds. They were actual black people. The creator even admitted he used designs of black actors and much to find that it was basically their version of the United States or Russia.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. I really fear who they're going to use to do a live action like that, or are they going to do the characters? Are they going to bring racism into that too?
Absolutely. Racism has to be brought into everything. Don't you know that?
Despite the fact that the whole village is run by a black man?
Okay. Sentinel. Have to say it from time to time, Vigilante Williamson. Fuck everybody. Don't let people's expectations of you fuck your identity up. Agreed. Never. That goes for anybody. Do not let someone's expectations of you do anything to your identity. Apparently, a few people have left. We still love you if you left. You're just correctly.
Tell them to fuck off.
Yeah. I did not know this live action.
Fullmetal Alchemist was awful as a live action.
I didn't know that even existed. I'm glad.
Yeah, some things weren't just meant to be live action. Animation is perfect because it can go in every direction without problems.
Yeah.
But live action doesn't work like that.
Hell saying Quad 92. I know you were in the stream earlier and you have subbed, so I appreciate your sub, brother. If you're here, or if stream elements is late, whichever way. Thank you.
But the best way is just for them to get their hands on them. Americans do their own entertainment. They fuck up. They lose money. They go bankrupt. The Japanese do their form of entertainment, win money, keep growing. And I actually am afraid of what will happen to Japanese entertainment. Okay, who here knows that children are stupid?
The children are stupid? Yes, they are. Indeed.
Most children are incredibly stupid and easy to impress.
You'll find some smart ones. You'll find some smart.
Children are ignorant. They haven't been informed. They haven't matured, but they behave as they are stupid.
There are
They behave as if they are all stupid.
Reproduce almost everything they see on television because they don't know better.
Agreed.
Yeah, now they're blaming anime for violence of children, which reminds me of the old subjugation of video games teaching violence to children.
Video games used to teach violence to children. Music taught violence to children. Wrestling taught violence to children. All these things teach violence to children.
And no lack of structured upbringing is blamed.
A single episode of Tom and Jerry. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they always blame the other
episode. As a little kid, eating a bowl of cereal on a random morning, eating a bowl of cereal, watching an episode of Tom and Jerry. Like, yeah, you're not going to see violence. You're not going to see people getting hit with frying pans and fucking have fireworks lit off on their feet and shit like that.
Yeah, they always blame the thing and not actually go talk to the parents or actually talk with the freaking kid to teach him better. I mean, just because a kid in Russia hanged himself and he had Death Note books, they're blaming the books. But Death Note doesn't teach suicide. It's a murder mystery.
I watched plenty of Tom and Jerry as a kid. never once said I hit somebody with a frying pan.
Exactly, because it actually taught me that if you hit someone with something, it will hurt. And I was also afraid they would do that and make my head explode. You have to admit you were afraid in your lives.
I'm sorry, what was the last thing? I had a little trouble hearing you.
You have to admit most of you as kids were afraid that someone someday would show up with a giant mallet and hit you with the head with it.
No, not really. No. If I knew that didn't happen.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. You know what though? But as a kid, I thought stupid, crazy shit like that.
I didn't think a coyote was gonna set up a dynamite trap in front of my house and fucking. You know, I never thought that.
I know the weirdest thing as far as cartoons as a kid is like sometimes I would like go to sleep while cartoons were still on and like have weird dreams where like the cartoons were happening in my dream. So that shit happened. That was pretty freaky.
I've had that with movies before where I fall asleep watching movies and it fucks with my dream. Yeah, I have
that. FMA was done in Japan and it was horrible. So yeah, you can't always just blame that. It's always something. Thank you, Mister talking Draco. The true danger in the children is bad.
You can't blame the things the kid reads. You have to look at the kids themselves. Because if that kid committed suicide, then he probably had darkness within him a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you're talking about suicide and depression, that's something they've never want to address. They haven't addressed the lockdown's impact on that. They didn't even address it before this. They just mental illness is something they just like kind of just sweep under a rug and act like it doesn't exist and only use it.
Yeah, there's a loneliness, seclusion. Not talking to anyone. That can really affect them. And I'm gonna be honest. The Discord talk, the live streams we've been doing, they've been keeping me going for quite some time.
Same here. Yes.
I love talking about that. They don't even allow me to leave the goddamn house. I can't even go to the comics anymore. I have to either order them or go read them online. It's fucking annoying. I want to talk to people. Physically talk to people.
Yeah. As Case says, it's how that's happening is fucked up. It is indeed fucked up. And indeed, we do need to these live streams, talking to you guys, talking to everyone in the chat. That's why I try to get to everyone in the chat and just being in different other people's live streams. I'm in the chat talking to you guys. Like that has been my social interaction for the past however many months. And I thank you all for being here and everyone on this panel, everyone in this chat. Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm thanking you because you were the one who brought me into this world of chats and helped me a lot. Thanks, Vigilante.
Yeah, and you were just a guy in the chat. You just were persistent. I'm like, yeah, man, cool. Like I'm not nobody, so yeah, just go ahead and come along. And then when you showed the script, I hope Matt actually does read that script. I think it's going to be. I'm sorry, man. I hope Matt actually reads the script and gives you pointers on what it is. I'm not a good enough writer to analyze the work to that extent. I know Matt. He actually deals with Hollywood quite a bit.
I should have said I was gonna send it to Kate. If you're sending the live stream, are you okay with that?
Yeah. Fimmer is trying to get people to criticize and write his scripts because he's a good writer, but I'm just not. I just don't know. I'm not a good enough writer to really give him the input that he's looking for. So yeah. So Kate says sure. I'm not sure if Kate is on the Discord. I know you're Fimmer. Are you on Minds? I don't know.
I'm sorry?
The website Minds. It's one of the alternate social media sites that's popped up in the wake of all this Twitter garbage.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't use a lot of social media. I mean, I like communication, but social media, it's just not for me. I mean, only a small portion of your information stays out there. The governments track you down. I don't even fucking know what am I talking about. I just don't like social media very much.
Okay, Kate says not a good writer, but I can critique. And I think so. He's not. But if ever anyone's on Minds, I am on Minds. You can follow me on Minds. I'm not the best. I'm not a social media guy anyway. I only got social media for this channel, but it's been fun. I am thinking about doing more stuff with mine and actually maybe release some music soon.
YouTube is social media. Dude. It is. If people want to,
Yeah, but
it's social
controlled
media.
by the jackasses. YouTube is controlled by the jackasses now.
Yeah, but yeah, it was been controlled by the jackasses the whole time. But yeah, I guess YouTube is a social media, but I don't look. I'm not a Twitter guy. I'm not an Instagram guy. I'm not a Facebook guy. I'm not somebody who like looks and sees. Like I see what
And Twitter is okay with pedophilia. Let's not forget that.
Sure are.
Holy shit,
They sure are.
I mean, they're pretty much untouchable. I mean, they do have the United States Senate on their side, right?
Basically, I think so. But I'm really out of the politics things now. I'm just
So they are
I want
untouchable. Great.
to hang themselves. They're not untouchable. These platforms turn out the lights on people who don't have the correct thoughts. There are too many people, in my opinion, who don't have the correct thoughts. So it may be wise to get on minds. If you're a social media person at all, appreciate the follow. I think they're going to push off so many people that they're going to make a lot of these platforms a lot more powerful than they would have been otherwise. I just don't think they think a lot more people will just roll over and comply with their bullshit, their right thing bullshit than will. And they don't realize they're just making more people wake up to how crazy they are. And I think within a few weeks, there will be nobody on the left because Biden will fuck up so much that people will say, oh shit, why did we get so much supportive of this guy? They'll have the same face I have in that avatar.
Do not
Just
dismiss the ability of the average person to have denial.
I also don't dismiss the average person's ability to blame someone else, and he will be the only one left. You might not be wrong.
No, you
But
blame. That's just it. It will be something that will happen. It will be something in the government, and it will not be blamed on him. Or even if you do blame it on him, the person who does not believe he could do any wrong will believe whatever is told them that is not him, because they will follow the direction that they want to believe. It's another trait of denial. It's another trait of psychological. It's another trait of your psychological behavior of how you will go. I mean, I would direct you to, if you do not listen, and if you're willing to listen to a whole bunch of statistics followed by very astute analysis, I would direct you to Aiden Paladin, who a little while ago came out with a video on how people. Matter of fact, it might have been a series of videos. How your belief and how you align with certain beliefs and certain political stances. I mean, it's political. She uses the political thing because it had a lot to do with what was going on in the presidential race. But she goes into a lot of details as to the psychology behind why people choose these things and why you tend to follow certain beliefs psychologically rather than make a more considered, a more broad spectrum choice. And it's very enlightening. It can be dry. The details can be dry, but it's enlightening to go through it if you can hang in there for a 45-minute to an hour video.
Maybe. How do you spell that? Because I would like to look that up.
AYDINPALADIN.
And I'm not disputing that at any to any extent. The idea that there are people who are just going to, in the chat we already see apparently not American IB, shout to IB, but the media won't stop licking Biden's boot, and Boris already has his tongue up the backside. These are establishment people, as Kate said. People are bored of legacy media of all kinds. There are a lot of people who are just tired of this bullshit. The viewing numbers for the inauguration was 200K, but Crowder has gotten 500K on election night. He doesn't have real support. He has a bunch of people who hated Trump, and now their evil villain is gone. They don't have him anymore to hate, and so there's no one left to hate. And so there's no one but him. They got what they wanted. They wanted all the power.
It's still a tool of blame because he was the one who caused everything that went bad to these people, he did it. He was the one.
But let's be honest, if Biden fucks up and annoys everyone, they will unite to destroy him. Because let's be honest, hate unites more than love.
They still put him in that position saying, number one, survive long enough to still vote you into office. Number two, knowing everything he does, everything he says, every way he behaves, we will vote for you because we hate Trump so much. All of these things. My God.
He could probably. He seems like the kind of person who really shouldn't know out of ignorance.
You know what's funny? After 4 years of bitching, they got an old white guy.
They did. They got the old white guy they wanted. An older whiter guy. An older whiter guy with more ties to racist, actual racial supremacy.
How can you be more patriarchal than this?
After all their bitching for 4 years. 4 fucking years.
Look, I don't think Biden's going to make it that long. I give him a month or two.
Oh, no, yeah.
Technically,
a lot of people have been saying the same thing.
Consider what you know. Consider what you know. You know that the guy has been, at least in our opinion, the guy has been listening to handlers, and he listens to them so well. He obeys their commands directly. He walks past a set of Marines, and he says, yes, he walks past a set of Marines, and he tells the Marines, salute the Marines. Because that's what his handler is telling in his ear, because that's what they want him to do. But he tells them that
he's like Ron Burgundy.
He is Ron Burgundy.
He's a freaking puppet.
Yes, he is. In our opinion, keep this on the air that much longer, to keep this on the platform that much longer. In our opinion,
I'm not afraid of the platform. I have to live, so I don't give a fuck.
Yes, but to use the platform to speak, we want to speak, and therefore we couch things in certain language. We use the terms so that you can stay on here just a little bit longer to reach the people who need to hear, to reach the people who need to know. The longer you can stay on here, you can use the platform against the people that would use it against the rest of humanity.
Potentially, but I did my 50 subscriber video on YouTube maybe 2 months ago. I already have 50 people on mine. I'll start from scratch with no problem. I'd much rather say what it needs to be said, get yeeted, and come back again than hold my tongue. I appreciate that what you're saying though, because I know other people have different views on their channel, but for me personally, because I feel like I'd rather say what I want to say, rather you guys say what you guys want to say, then yes, we have to say on this platform, but what needs to be said needs to be said. If they're going to make the rules to where being honest is not allowed, then we're just going to butt heads and whatever happens.
It absolutely is honest. That it is my opinion, and all of my data is also data, and I will make my opinion and I will state it clearly, and you cannot shut me or any of my friends down for my opinions spoken, especially given how much fact they are based on.
Yeah, and that's all we can do is just, they gave a strike to Young Ripper, Eric July, based upon using CDC data. Everything he said was factual, but they still gave him a strike. But he still said what he said, and he came back and doubled down, which is what you have to. There's no choice. They're not giving us a choice because the ultimate end game is too steep. We can't just give up. We may get yeeted. I've seen too many creators come up with secondary 13, 14, 15 channels. I'll do Vigilante Williamson channel 2 if that's what has to happen.
But let's just put it this way. You can assume that will happen. You'll assume that this would happen. I'd rather you get to 100 or 150 and be able to take those 150 with you over there than have you yeeted tomorrow. Let's put it that way.
Agreed.
Look, the man is insane. He made a rule that he himself cannot follow. With the whole mask thing.
Yeah.
I mean, what idiot does that? You make a rule, you have to be sure that it's one you can follow.
No, you don't. It's rules for me, not for thee. Rules for thee, not for me.
Exactly.
He does know that people might revolt because of this. He's enforcing laws that he himself does not apply.
Considering what you just said he knows. what does he actually know, or what does he forget in the next breath?
I don't think he knows anything. I think his puppet masters know.
Yeah,
His puppet
exactly.
know.
I just wanted to get that out there.
The government. And the population is not afraid of the government because of the BLM and Antifa things. So if they start a revolution, that can be a problem for them.
Yeah, and I'm also going to be interested, and this is another counterpoint I meant to bring up, Draco, because a lot of the people who put him in office did so with pitchforks and a shotgun, saying, if you don't listen to us, we're going to step on you. And he's not going to listen to them. And we're going to see, we saw what happened in Portland with Ted Wheeler. I would love to see how a lot of those people who were so anti-red wing or anti-right wing, yeah, they're mad at Trump supporters, but in a few weeks, they're going to be staring at Biden. He's going to do something that pisses them off, and they're going to be ready to set everything on fire like they have done all year long. And there's not going to be an orange man to yell at and bring when he does something stupid.
Yeah, because I heard that South Korea was trying to make him to keep the Trump deal with the North to get rid of the nuclear objects.
I'm not even 100% sure about that.
I think a lot of people are going to leave the states as allies because, let's be honest, Trump might have been crazy, but he was power crazy. He attracted other people that were also power crazy, which, let's admit, are most of the countries around the world.
Interesting opinion.
Let's get to some of the chat stuff because the chat, again, is on fire as usual. I think this is talking about W being blamed for 8 years. Yeah, W, even I still hate W. And VW is right about culture. And I'm getting that for Eric July. We have to focus on culture because politics, these political parties are dead. One is malleable, replaceable. I'm assuming that's referring to Biden.
They will be dead once you stop seeing over 95% of the vote swung to only two parties.
Absolutely, and that does have to happen. And get into a little bit because Kate has the idea. And this has to be the jumping off point of more than the two parties, especially at the local level, because that's where this is won. We have to, Kate's talking about nullification. That's incredibly important. But I'll get there. Harris was never going to win, but shoot her in as VP. They get what they really want, which is her as Prezi. And as I said about Tulsi Gabbard, who everyone loves and everybody remembers her takedown of Kamala Harris, she was as effective of getting Kamala Harris out of the White House as Vigilante Williamson, which is not a damn bit. So never forget that. Yes, he is
too, man.
Because you're looking at two individuals. You're looking at two individuals who will do exactly what certain other people want. They will be figureheads. The man in the seat right now, in my opinion, is a figurehead. The person who's right behind him, she is also a figurehead. Are these actually anything except are they career politicians who will say exactly what they are expected to say?
Yeah.
You're waiting. I wonder. I think it will be interesting what will happen in the next year, or if not in the next 6 months. But I wonder what that interesting thing is. Go ahead.
Look, I don't believe there's a politician in this world that has not reached a position of power without doing a couple of sins.
Agreed.
A couple.
Let's be honest, most of them are located in the far left.
Only two.
A little bit more than
They're basically the mafia with more reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, and anytime the mob comes up with something, they add it to their own thing. Mob comes up with numbers, let's do the lottery. You know what I mean? So where are we? VW is a choice spot. Not for me. I'm playing with house money. If this channel goes away tomorrow, I've done more than I could ever imagine. Propping up other black folks. Yeah, black folks who want to be victims. So Biden was locked out of the White House because Trump told the staff to go home as he left. I don't know if the story is true, but I hope it is.
It actually happened.
Did it?
I feel like it actually happened.
I hope it did. I've been avoiding all this shit like a plague. nullification is incredibly important. Um, we have to. The federal government is lost. It has been lost for a long time. I think Trump kind of showed us that, for better or for worse. We have to really focus on our state and local level elections. I myself, and I don't want to dox myself too much, I know of somebody who I used to work with who is now basically an alderman for a local government off of just knowing people. He just got the position happenstantially. He seems like a good dude, but it's just something that you need to recognize about your local government. A lot of people can just get there on accident. So you have to be more involved with the local government. Hell, Lord Thoth, hell Saturday night. Meet the
a lot of people in the modern government are given power without actually earning it. A voice should be earned, not demanded for. For example, AOC, she does things that make her look like a child. I mean, did you see her recent propaganda that she's afraid of the Senate or the GOP?
Good. She should be. She's insane. I don't care. I did see she was trying to get everybody in the GOP to resign or some shit. This is
only the Republican one.
Yeah, no offense to any hot chicks, but this is what happened when you tell a hot chick her whole life that everything she does is okay, and she just never meets reality until we all know who she is. And that's the first time anyone who's ever challenged her in her entire life. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Shout out to Parrothead again. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Throw Perry killing it in the chat. One thing for certain, the demand for a ticket on the SpaceX rocket from Mars has just increased. I think, everybody wants to get the fuck off of this planet. Just fuck it.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so we have gone about 2 hours.
A lot of tasty oxygen down here.
There's some good oxygen. That's a
but
spoiled chick.
Let's be honest, between suffocating in space or suffocating with the bullshit here, which side would you rather?
Yeah, I'm ready to just deal with space. Deal with the aliens.
Little too black pill for me, my fellow sentient.
So that's a spoiled chick, not a hot chick. I know that you yourself are a hot chick, but a lot of hot chicks are indeed spoiled. So just saying, Kate. No disrespect, because you're pretty, you're awesome. But it does not always happen that way. In any event, it has gone almost 2 hours. This will be my second stream of almost 2 hours today. Unless there is anything else anyone wanted to talk about, I was willing to go around the panel and to go ahead and end. But before I do, does anybody want to get anything else off their chest that we want to wrap about before we wrap up?
I received some news during this that does anyone know Admiral Oliver Franklin Doom?
Yeah, I've seen him in different streams and different stuff. Yeah, what's going on with him?
He passed.
Oh no!
I was trying not to say that the whole time. So.
I'm sorry. Jeez, I have seen him in a bunch of different streams and a bunch of different chats. It'll be like either Admiral OF Doom or the whole thing spelled. Oh man, what did he pass of?
I don't know. There's a group chat in Twitter that's going on right now about it. But
no,
I didn't while you were doing stream. I didn't want to. But
yeah. That's fine. Well, I mean, I'm sure because everybody is in the same community. There might be people in the chat that know of Admiral OF Doom, who I've seen in different streams, in different chats. He's a really cool dude, and I think I've even seen him on stream before. That's sad. So yeah, if you have seen, if you do know of him, prayers for him and his family. That is pretty sad. It has been a long day. And after Perion, I have still not seen Bad Women, and I need to. I've been just busy with work and this and stuff. Hopefully, I'll see it. I have to.
She's out of a superhero suit and automatically knows how to become a freaking superhero. I mean, I'm actually wondering, does that mean Kate Kane is somewhere in the CW universe walking around naked because he just left the suit up, right?
Absolutely, she's butt ass walking around Gotham.
Oh God, these guys really don't know how to write anymore.
Hey, guess that the parent saw you, Fibber. You joined up as a member to Az's channel. Hell, Az. The van by the river joke is gold. The fact that they made her a drug dealer who lives in a van by the river, again, they hate black women.
But that is
Or
some kind of van down by the river because it can outrun the Batmobile.
Oh my God, I miss Chris Farley.
Yeah, they always kill the greats.
I miss that joke of the van down by the river really hit hard.
They always kill the greats. Like, who? Wait, you saying someone killed Chris Farley other than Chris Farley with his drug addiction?
No, Chris Farley. In his case, I think that was probably him. I usually go Illuminati with a lot of celebrity deaths, but there's a couple of them they do that themselves. I don't think. Unfortunately,
he was unfortunately a personality that was self-destructive, very much like Belushi.
Yeah, he took his Belushi worship too seriously.
Absolutely, he did. So yeah,
just like Artie Lang. Artie Lang doesn't have a nose now.
Does he have a nose? What?
You haven't seen what happened to Artie Lang?
No, because I'm out of touch of everything.
Man. Oh, I don't think you want to see it.
Nah, man, we're not ending the stream till we see what the fuck happened to Artie Lang.
Oh, fuck.
we gotta see what happened to Artie Lang's nose. Holy shit, I didn't see this shit.
It's gone. That's just what happened to his nose. It's gone. He has no nose.
Oh, fuck me.
Fucking hamburger. The hamburger took it. Holy shit.
Oh, shit. So, okay, I'm going to add to the string. This is just a picture. This is him with his nose. And it kind of, I don't know what's going on here.
My God.
Yeah, it's like a deflated beach ball.
Oh my God, that is just, I can't even look at it.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, look at what he was.
Take that out.
Yeah, man. Drugs are not good. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, and these assholes advocate for it. They advocate
it's legal now.
Use. Yeah.
The bed. Okay.
Drugs are bad, okay. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell, Mister. I am wrapping up pretty soon.
That's rough to look at.
I'm wrapping up. Yeah, that process sometimes does take a while to wrap up. Mention wrestling in the stream will be good another couple hours. It has happened that way. After Pan.
The Royal Rumble's in 2 weeks.
It is. I actually know people who are like talking about it. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's a Rumble.
I'm gonna do a live stream. I'm gonna do a live stream with my friend talking shit about it.
I might join you for that if I'm allowed, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. We're gonna wrap up, and I'm actually gonna start with you. Are you still doing because pretty much every week you do?
I was slacking on just doing anything on the internet for a while.
No problem.
So, maybe I'll do a watch party during the week. Maybe during the week I'm gonna do a watch party, and then that Sunday, not tomorrow Sunday, but the next Sunday, I'm going to be at my friend's house watching the Royal Rumble. And we're just going to be streaming and talking shit about it. Anyone wants to come through. Like, even if you don't want to talk about the Royal Rumble if you're not watching it, or if you do want to talk about the Royal Rumble if you're watching it, it's not like we could show it. You know that.
Yeah. It's cool. I think I actually have your link up here, so let's get you promoted. Because everybody should be sub to all these guys, to be frank. So please.
I have to go back because everything doesn't. When I try to look at people's YouTube things through the chat, it doesn't bring me to their stuff. It brings me to block or report. I'm like, why does it do that?
Oh, jeez. Okay. But yeah, Slash McSplitter has a great channel. We've done watch parties when he does them. I fucks with Slash McSplitter. heavily. So we will keep going around the horn. My man Fenrir the Ice Wolf, who wants us to, his channel's growing, even though he hasn't done much content on it. But Fenrir, go ahead and please plug your channel.
Yeah, please go to my channel, subscribe. Just because the more I have, the more I will feel obligated to create something. Let's be honest, the peer pressure is pretty good in that regards. I, at the moment, have nothing, but I promise that I will do something when the peer pressure hits. But yeah, stay away from the woke people. Stay safe. Keep your family safe. Believe me, the politics will one day end when the next generation takes over.
Yeah.
Read good things. Stay smart. Don't fall to the stupidity. Okay, just be fucking smart.
Yeah.
Peace.
Fenrir's at 18 subs. If 2 more of you sub, he'll be at 20. So 2 of you can do it. Give Fenrir a sub. You can do it too. And Draco, do you have a channel that you want us to promote, Draco? I know you're similar to Fenrir.
I do have a channel. You can sub to me at Draco Argentus on YouTube. At least while I am still on this platform. Yep. I haven't been making much content. As a matter of fact, I have been making promotions for a giant megacorp's one good thing that they're doing right now, which is my teasers for The Expanse. Although this last week I have been stymied getting back to my teasers, but I am still working on getting those out, and maybe I might do more reviews of older material or newer material as I get the opportunity to work on building my own brand. Otherwise, you can find me, Draco Argentus, on YouTube.
Okay, and I have his link highlighted. I have a few links up there. And Anthroparion is talking about slashers.
And film. I am Mythier on Minds as well.
No, I can't promote that film, Anthro, because it. All right, Vigilante knows the reason I can't promote that film. There's two reasons. One, my friend, it's from my friend's channel, and he's had it set to private for years. And two, the film's mostly it's 25 minutes, but it's mostly original music. And within the last maybe 2 minutes, he decided to play 2 copyrighted songs. And I got banned in 5 countries from showing that video for that reason.
Yeah. I think it's a really good film. Maybe you guys should figure something out with that, because it's a really good film. It actually also said, I'm not sure if I can't remember if this is on stream before stream. Unfortunately, the main actor wasn't an actor.
And yes.
Yeah, he has passed as well. A lot of deaths, and it's very sad. All these people are passing. And I know a coworker that recently passed as well. So it's really crazy.
All the good ones are dying. In 2020, all the good ones, good actors, good writers, all of them died. That was pretty sad.
Yeah, it's a Tom Petty song.
But the funny thing is, I'm sorry, Vigilante, but what Anthro said right here, no, it wasn't the Tom Petty song. It was the James Blunt song. They legit said the email was that fucking James Blunt song. Fuck James Blunt.
Fuck James
Fuck
Blunt.
that guy. That guy was a flash in the fucking pan. Tom Petty's a legend.
2007. Yeah. Tom Petty's
a fucking legend. James Blunt, pimple on the ass.
I swear to God, if those idiots go after Burt Reynolds, I will be pissed.
They probably will. But that bombshell, they're going after anybody who ever did anything before today. But on that bombshell, it is time to end. I thank everybody in the chat. Anthroparion, Rowan Ginger Raven, Mirrorsphere, she showed up late. Laura Thoth showed up a little late. Pearhead, IB, who else was here? As I scroll through everyone. Sentinel, how can I forget the Sentinel? Everybody, and if I forget you, please blame my head, not my heart. Mary G, Draco was in the chat. A lot of people. It was dope. I appreciate everyone who joined. I appreciate everyone on the panel. So if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do so. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you did. And thank you for your time. God bless.